The Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has visited the stricken Fukushima nuclear plant, which has suffered several radioactive water leaks. The visit was seen as an attempt to reassure the public that the situation was under control after criticism of the way the plant operator, TEPCO, handled the disaster. I first visited Onahama. There the fish market has been in use since last year. It has smoothly undergone the necessary testing procedures, and is providing an ever-growing variety of seafood to households. The government also intends to contribute to dispelling the reputational damage from radiation-related rumors related to seafood from Fukushima, which is safe and delicious. We will continue to offer our utmost support to ensure thorough understanding throughout the country for how delicious this food is and to ensure that it is fairly priced. I will use every opportunity to spread the word and communicate this point.
And I do want to take you back to our top story. I want to take you straight back also to Tokyo, where the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is speaking. We are expecting him to resign. Let's listen in.
For the past 7 years and 8 months, we have addressed a variety of challenges. There are a lot of the challenges we haven't completed. At the same time, there are some achievements and there are some milestones that we hit in order to respond to the mandate. All the achievements are thanks to the public and people of Japan. I really want to extend my appreciation to the people of Japan. Despite of the support, even though I have 1 year to go in my tenure, and with other challenges that have not been addressed yet, and amid the coronavirus outbreak, I decided to step down as the Prime Minister. I would like to send my apologies to the people of Japan.
I wasn't able to solve abduction issues involving Japanese nationals. It is indeed a source of regret. The peace treaty with Russia, constitutional amendment. I'm going to leave my status without achieving all of those ambitions and targets. It is indeed a regrettable thing for us, but it is a commitment made by the LDP to the people in Japan. Under the new leadership of the party, we're going to work out the new policies. We're going to have a new engine for growth and for momentum. Then those measures will be executed. Next Prime Minister, before he or she is appointed, the onus will be on me. I will take my responsibility as the Prime Minister of Japan. I go through treatment, then I'd like to regain my health again, so that I'd like to stand behind a new administration as a politician. To the people in Japan, I'd like to appreciate your support for about 8 years. Thank you very much indeed. Then we'd like to take questions from reporters, first based on practice. We take questions from 2 coordinators, and if your name is announced, then please go to the mic. Then please state your affiliation and name, then ask your question.
Now you can ask a question. Nihon TV, Sugawara, thank you. So you decided to step down as the Prime Minister. As you said, the continuous administration of the drug will continue. Maybe you could have considered the option to serve as a Prime Minister and be treated. So I believe your health condition is very severe. Are there any necessity for you to go to the hospital continuously? So when did you make a decision to resign? And in the first administration, you needed to quit, and this is the second time for you to do that. There may
Listening there to the Japanese Prime Minister, who has announced to the nation and also to the world that he is resigning after nearly 8 years in power, the longest-serving Japanese Prime Minister. I want to stay with this in Tokyo. Kari and Joji has been listening in. There are questions now being taken from journalists. What did you make of these comments?
Well, there were two brief bows that the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe gave as he made an apology to the nation, apologizing that he could not fulfill the requirements that were tasked to him as Prime Minister of Japan. And as a reason for that, the Prime Minister cited his ongoing illness, which is widely believed to be colitis. Let's just take you back to how he explained the situation, his health concerns. He said that the conditions surrounding his medical health surfaced back in June, and he was taking medication to try and treat this illness, but then there was a sudden change in his health, as the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe put it, around the middle of July, and he felt that he had exhausted his energies. And then he said that at the beginning of August, the condition started to flare up, and so he tried an additional drug to try and calm that situation, but on the 17th of August, as the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe just explained, he went back to that hospital, that very famous hospital visit by now, and he was told by his doctors, Shinzo Abe says, that he needs to make continued treatment. And in response to this, to use Shinzo Abe's words, he says that in politics, quotes, results are everything. End of quote. And this is the reason why he says he is stepping down as the longest-serving Prime Minister Japan has seen in the post-war period. He has already made history with that, Robin, earlier on in this week. But history today is repeating itself, because this is the second time that Shinzo Abe is resigning abruptly. This is his second stint in office as the Premier of Japan. His first one was very short-lived, just 1 year, and he resigned for health reasons as well. He has been under tremendous pressure over the last few months. All leaders have as we face this pandemic, but in particular Shinzo Abe, because Japan was one of the first countries to have to deal with this crisis, and there has been a lot of criticism that the response from his government was too little too late. And we saw a decline in the support rating from his government and, of course, the economic collapse. So we now have confirmation, Robin, that Shinzo Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan, will be resigning after nearly 8 years in office this time around.
Tokyo, one of the safest cities in the world, now and in 2020. Some may have concerns about Fukushima. Let me assure you, the situation is under control. It has never done and will never do any damage
to Tokyo.